Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use Azure Static App with the existing function app. So we're going to build a function app API and I'm going to fuse it with the static app. So the static app is going to just serve a HTML page and we're going to fill in some form and you're going to dynamically get some data back from API and put it back on the static web app and also key in some user input and then collect that information and post it to another route in the API built through the function app. So I'm going to use PowerShell to build a static web app and also a function app. So the language I've opted to create a function app is PowerShell, and I'm going to use a PS-HTML module to generate a HTML page for the static app. Join me, let's see how to do that. So I've got two folders, API and SRC, that's a source folder. So the source folder has two files, index.ps1 and index.html. Alright, so to begin with, what I have done is I've got the PS-HTML module installed in my machine and I'm just using the index.ps1 file to write my HTML like a PowerShell way, right? So I've got some file here, so I'm just piece of code which is going to have a single page HTML. So let's see how this looks alike so that you can get some idea. So let me quickly go ahead and run index.ps1 file and I just do out file just to show you how this looks like, home.html. So I get a file home.html in the same folder. I don't want to mess it up with the index.html which is existing already. Let me open this in the folder and open this with the Google Chrome. So this is how a page looks like. So now you can see there is some kind of a text or image, whatever you can place on the navigation bar. I don't have any fancy things to show with, but that's okay. I need to demonstrate how I can dynamically get some data and also to fill in a form and post that. So here I just see hello, but I don't see any other information like a name or city or something like that. And I do have a small form here which collects the first name and the last name for the registration. So if I do something like this, what happens? It fails because it doesn't know there is no such route existing. That's cool. Anyways, so this is what exactly we have built. This is a static web app. Now I need to go ahead and start my web app as well as my function app. Before doing that, let me show you what I have it in my Azure function app. Let me quickly open up my piece of code from here. Under the API, I've created two HTTP functions. One is called home and one is called register. So underneath the home, I've got two files, function.json and run.ps1. So in the run.ps1, I'm just getting some PS object here. So I've given a name as Chandra and Venkatesh, no whatever, just to show that I can process some data. You can make some dynamic data over here too. That's up to us to based on the use case what we need. So now I've just hard coded some information here and I'm getting that as a output. So what happens if I start this function? Let me go ahead and do that here. Do func start. And I see two routes. One is API/home, another one is API/register. This is a HTTP trigger with get method and the API/register with HTTP with a post method. So now let me go ahead and quickly copy this link and try to come over here and say like invoke REST method URI and I paste it here. So if I go ahead and do this, I should get some result back. So what should it give? It should give my name and the city, right? Let's see if that is working as expected. All right, it should work now. Yeah, now I can see the name and the city. That's good. It's working as expected. So the another one is I've got is something like, sorry about that. I've got a register, the run.ps1. So this is one which will go ahead and accept the input and then print some data back. So for now, I'm doing it as a JSON. So it just prints the data, whatever we are collecting from the form. So what we have it in the form is nothing but a first name and the last name. So I collect this information. When I go ahead and click on submit button, it has to go to the route API/register and then it just send the data, whatever I key in into the first name and in the last name field, right? So let me show that here. This is my first name field, this is my last name field. When I click on submit, the route will change to /API/register and then prints the value of the first name and the last name. Good, that's what we're going to do now. So let me quickly close this one and stop the function app. I go to my other terminal, and what I need to do is I need to go to the source folder, because this is where I have my PS1 file. So now I don't need home.html, which is of no use. Right. So now I don't want index.html too, because I generate one now. So now I run index. Okay, I don't need to type in because I've got the documentation ready over here. I think I have not documented. That's okay. Let me show you how that works. So I'm going to call index.ps1. I'm going to save a file named index.html in the same folder, and then I do a start web app. I have installed the static web app CLI. So I'm using that command SWA start, and this is the root project root folder, and then I just say API location HTTP localhost 7071, and when I push enter, I see index.html file is generated, and then you see the beautiful message which says, hey, your function app is not running. It says like waiting for localhost 7070 to be ready, because there is nothing running over there. Let me get on to the other terminal and do func start. So this will start the function app. I've got another tool installed, function core tools. I've given the links in the description and in my blog as well. So please make use of it. You can just go through the steps over there and then install all the tools, required tools you want. So once I started the function app, let me go back to the terminal and see what happens. Okay, now I see some error. That's okay. Now let me go ahead and quickly do this. I rerun that. Now I can see the static web app is running in the port 4280. Let me open up a Chrome browser and navigate to localhost 4280 and push enter. So now I got a application running. You see, in a fraction of a second, it got my name and the city, which comes from the function app. Let me show you that. Let me quickly go ahead and change my city name. All right, I come back here and let me quickly go ahead and do a quick refresh and see how that works. Now you can see the city is changed here. That's fantastic, and this is running in the function app. All right, now back here I have got my first name and last name. You have to be a bit clear in this. I'm just getting this data and I'm printing it out here, right? So that's why I can get that data, whatever I change here, it immediately reflects in the web page because it's running in my local machine, right? And if I go, the same thing happens if I deploy it on the Azure cloud as well. Now I just move on to the register.ps1, in which like I've got some kind of manipulation. There definitely there could be a better way to do this. I'm just having some rough code here. I'm taking the URL decoded data here. This is the method I'm calling with the request.body data. So I'm passing some input and I just go ahead and manipulate it, massage the data just to get it in the way I'm looking out for. So I just go to my index.ps1. Here I'm collecting two informations, right? First name and the last name. So the first name has got a label and the input. So I've got the first underscore name, last underscore name as the key. So that's just going to get that, read that data and do it. I'm doing the encoding type of application from URL encoded. So that's the reason I'm just using the URL decode method to collect the data. I tried in a different way, but I'm not really sure. I may be wrong. It didn't work for me. So I'm just sticking to this one because this is the working product at this point of time. Probably I can change it later sometime once I get the better way, once I figure out the better way to do it. So now that what happens is if I go ahead and key in some information and push a login button or register button, what happens? It just goes and hits the API / register, right? So let's see. So whenever I do some try to access the static web app, you can see the logs over here, SWA, the static web app, and then what is happening here. So let me go ahead and do this. I just type in my first name and my last name, and I push a submit. You see the URL API / register, and it's just trying to hit the function app and then gets the results back here. So this is what exactly this function app does. And you can see here, it called the post 200. Okay, that's good. So now again, I just go back here and do a quick refresh. You should see a log which says API home 200 status okay. So now this time I just type in some information, my full name and my last name. I push a submit button, and this time I'm going to get first name and the last name. All right, so let me go to my function app terminal and see this is how it works, and I can see some kind of sort of information whenever the request is passing through. So this is a foundation, like how we can use a static web app and function app, like something like bring your own function and enhance your static web app. So you can have some simple HTML page built using plain HTML, or you can use PSHTML module. It's up to you how you can go ahead and consume it. But using PSHTML is one way easy, because you can do everything in a PowerShell way, and you can apply a lot of logic. In my next video, I'll show you how we can enhance this portal and deploy it in Azure Static Web App services, and also deploy it in the Azure Function app and integrate it. So we're going to do that in a DevOps way. Thanks a lot for watching my video.